Next issue.
Okay, item number 2. During the intergovernmental meeting, as most council members know, is that the school district is proposing a security with putting a armed guard in each of the buildings in the, each building in the Gateway School District. And they have asked us 2 questions. And the 2 questions in their proposal with respect to the council here is our SRO, we split the cost with benefits and salary of $150,000, and we split costs right now of $75,000 apiece. School district is requesting council if they would lower that to $50,000. That's the first question. Is there any dialogue on that question at all right
Yeah.
now before we go to the second one?
Yeah. So I got a lot of questions that we weren't allowed to ask at the intergovernmental meeting. So we use the officer for 3 months out of the year. They use them for 9 months out of the year. The other thing that came out of that meeting, that Gateway is in the best financial shape that it's been in a long time, I believe were the words. And they're asking us for more money to support this. Trying to get this straight in my head. Is that correct?
Yes, you are.
Okay. That just doesn't make sense, but okay.
Does council have any other dialogue or questions on that they want to ask?
Well, no, to that point, I would agree, yes, the 9 months out of the year to 3 months, it's a 75%, 25% breakdown. Actually, as we were talking about the tax delinquency issue, the millage rate's 19.336 for your school district tax, 4 mills for your municipality of Monroeville tax. The math there is roughly 17%. So every dollar that a taxpayer pays that goes towards real estate for your Monroeville and Gateway. We won't talk about the county for now. We won't talk about Pitcairn for now, but Monroeville residents who pay money that goes to the school district and to the municipality, it is a 17% to 83% breakdown as far as where your tax dollar goes. Now, all that aside, I think as far as us paying 50% for an SRO, I think it's pretty fair from our end.
Extremely generous.
Very.
I think the SRO provides a great service to the community, not only for the school itself, for the outside threats to a school, potential outside threats, but internally as far as the relationships that an SRO develops with these kids long term. Certainly, this isn't the forum, or we're not. This body shouldn't agree or disagree with if whatever their plan is to put guards in all the schools, because that's the school district's decision, and we can't as residents speak to that. But really, the question is just the financing part of it. I think we should continue paying what we've been paying, the 50% for Officer Kandrak's wages and salary, and keep him over there at the high school.
So I guess I'll ask you, Nick, just because you were at the meeting too. If we don't give the extra $20,000. 25. Are they going to get rid of the SRO?
I think that's a school district question. I would hope that in their $72 million budget, that the $25,000 wouldn't be a deal breaker for the SRO, and they'd be able to find out a way to work that into their budget.
I'm just
hopefully.
thinking, as a parent, that SRO's been there for 13 years, has developed a lot of good relationships with the kids, and I think that's more important than more of a military state. I believe in the security, in the security of our kids, but to kind of that point, for $25,000, I don't want this to break the deal. I think he does a good job, and I find a lot of benefit in it, and I just don't want that to be a deal breaker. I agree with you. Out of a $72 million budget, $25,000 isn't a lot. Our budget isn't near that. If you took our budget and Penn Hill's budget and put it together, or Pitcairn, put it together, it's not near that. And I'll just say it, I felt a little that it was almost posed as a threat that, hey, if you don't pony up, we're getting rid of them. I didn't care for that too much.
And once again, either way, it is all taxpayer dollars. It's all residents' money, one way or the other. Your district, your money goes to the district or the municipality. But I think the breakdown that we have right now is fair on our part, the 50%.
I agree.
I don't know if anyone else wants to speak.
No,
to that.
I agree.
Anybody else have comments, council?
No, sir.
I'm sorry?
No, sir.
So, I mean, I don't think next Tuesday, because the status quo is right now, we're providing an SRO at 50% of the cost to the school district. I don't, nothing needs to be done legislatively next Tuesday. So what I'm hearing is that council wants to keep the status quo with the SRO.
Is that a fair statement, council?
It's fair, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes,
Is that a fair
fair.
statement, council? Very good.
Okay. All right, the second question that was brought up was that could the municipality have I want to use a special school police, which is under our home rule charter. And I'll read that. It says, "The municipal manager, with the advice and consent of council, may appoint a special school police who shall have the duty of controlling and directing traffic and providing for public safety at or near schools and churches, and who shall be in uniform and when on duty shall be vested with all powers of the municipal police officers. Such police shall serve at the pleasure of the council and shall not come within the career service and personnel provisions of the charter, nor shall they be eligible to join any police pension fund maintained for municipal police." Now, our solicitor, Bob Ratcher, has given an opinion on this, because right now we're in the middle of a home rule charter revision, and he's given an opinion to them and several council members. But I'll turn it over to him as far as to offer his opinion on that item.
Well, my opinion is that I don't think that particular provision, it's an old provision taken from an old provision in the Borough Code. It was inserted into the Home Rule Charter. It is, in fact, an operable provision in the Home Rule Charter right now. But when we reviewed it on the Home Rule Charter Committee, I think everybody came to the conclusion, and certainly my legal opinion is that that provision was never intended, I think, to do what the school district is contemplating doing. I think it was more in tune with school crossing guards, something of that ilk, as opposed to police officers who were actually in the schools. So my opinion is that it would not be in the municipality's interest to create a force under that particular provision. Now, there are other provisions that the school district can create a police force with, but that particular provision I don't think is appropriate for the municipality.
Okay, anything else, sir?
Any other questions from council or anything?
Okay.
Up to him, he runs the meeting.